according to a 4-year study, thousands of people with all kinds of CEOs, important people, all walks of life, home caregivers, every walk of life. And it was found that 95% will say that they have self-awareness, but only 15%. What happened about the 80% in between? They just don't know what to do with situational awareness. So you have those that think they are, those that actually are. So what is self-awareness? It's nothing more than taking an introspective look at yourself to find out what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, what your character is, what you've been successful with, what you've been unsuccessful with, and to use that. All ventures going forward. Ask all these people who have started entrepreneurship businesses, and the first thing they do is self-awareness. Now, it's been proven, according to research, that people who are self-aware are all of these things. I mean, they're confident, they're fulfilled, they're less likely to lie, cheat, or steal. I want to talk about that a minute, because when you do an introspective look at yourself, some people look inside and they see their mentor, the person they want to be, the person they've told they should be. They're not honest with themselves. So it pays to be honest with yourself. How do you do it? You have an open mind, first of all, and be introspective. Look at yourself. Be comfortable with the uncomfortable, because you're going to look at your weaknesses. You're going to look at your downfalls. You actually are going to look at your flub-ups. Like when I stood up here and gave a speech one time, my knees were knocked, and then I forgot what I was going to say. And you'll reflect on those things. You have to know how to handle them in order to come up with good self-awareness. Self-awareness, then, is to be true to yourself. At this point, I want to talk about situational awareness. This has to do more with if you're traveling, if you come to a new location, if you come into Toastmasters for the first time, you want to know what the situation is. You want to assess what is actually going on. So what is it? It's the perception of the environment in which you're looking. Let's say, for example, you go to Oberammergau, Germany, and you have a vision of what it is. You've never been there before. You have a vision of what it should be. And something looks out of order. You're looking at the situation. So what you want to do is look at things that are just don't quite fit. Things are going to happen. Things are going to change. The normal situation here is the guy with the fish. What's going to happen next? Well, you guessed it. So here's how you become more efficient with situation awareness. First of all, you observe what's going on. You come into a new situation, you're traveling, you go to a new city, a new environment, you go into a new restaurant, you just orient, you look around, you observe what's going on, number one. Number two, you orient yourself towards that which you want to see. And then you decide what you're going to do if something happens, and then you do it. So the first thing here is observe. First point I made on there, in situational awareness, you're going to scope out the situation. You're going to look at it with open eyes and be honest with yourself. Secondly, you are going to find the target, the project that you're looking at. Now, on this picture, there's one person who's fully engaged in what she's seeing. The rest of them, look at them. They're fumbling with their cell phones. Now, who is that lady? The lady in the middle, on the bottom, with gray hair. I went to a boxing match, actually a UFC, Ultimate Fighting Championship, up here in LA about 10 years ago. And this guy, Fedor Emelianenko, was fighting. I wanted to see him. I paid big bucks to get my seat 15 rows back. And there I was with my camera. I was fiddling around. First ring came on. He shot out across the ring, and he beat the heck out of this guy in 18 seconds. Fado again retained his UFC championship title. And I was fumbling with my dadgum phone here. I missed the whole thing. I had to ask my buddy what happened. He said, it's over. I paid all that good money and it's over? Are you kidding me? So secondly, after you observe, you want to orient yourself. Get oriented towards the object. Then position yourself to observe. Put yourself in a position to be observed. Now I've noticed Richard, when he goes into a restaurant, he'll go in, he'll kind of look around, he'll put his back to the wall, and he'll be where he can see everybody. That's just a military thing. Protect yourself. All right, so you've got to have a plan. This is unsaid. If you don't have a plan, what's going to happen? Nothing. You're going to be like a deer out there when you're driving down the road at night and you shine your lights on the deer. What happens? He freezes. He doesn't have a plan because he's startled, he's shocked. And that's what would happen to you if you don't have a plan in your head because you have nothing to go to. And then you have to decide what are you going to do about this. All right, there's a situation occurred. I've got to do something about it. So I've got to act. That's the fourth thing I talked about. So you're going to have to act on this situation. So in summary, on situational awareness, it's very easy. Trust your feelings. Like Malcolm Gladwell said in his book, Blink, at the blink of an eye, you can make a decision that's 95% assured, as it would be if you analyzed it for hours and hours and hours. Trust your feelings. And then secondly, in situational awareness, you want to orient yourself, you want to observe, you want to decide, and then act. Mr. Toastmaster.